Now let's talk about modifying the footer, and this is the footer down here. Now, quite simply, we go to our file here and we have footer, and this is all we have to modify. If we open this with Notepad, all that's down here is the name of the blog, and then is powered by, and then a link to WordPress, and then a link to the designer's theme here. And you probably should leave those as they are. But if you wanted to put something else down here, this is where you do it. So you could just put in here, for instance, you wanted to do a line break. Something like that. We'll save that. And we'll do an upload here. Upload footer. Replace. Now if we refresh here, you see down here it says all rights reserved. Okay, so that's how simple it is to modify the footer. You can just change whatever you want in there, and that's it. Now let's have a look at the other theme. So let's go change our theme, and we'll change the footer on the other one just to show you. It's just as easy. Go activate new site. Okay, and then here's our footer down here. So all we do is we go into our widget-like theme. We go to footer. Open this with Notepad. Okay, and then we have the same sort of thing going on here. We have, see, we have copyright 2008 test blog, which is the name of our blog that comes in from the database, powered by, and then all the links here. So basically we could just change in here the same way. Now sometimes you will have a footer that is an image, and usually you'll have the link to the image in here, and you can just change that just like we changed the header. Just take the new footer that you want to use as an image into paint.net, make it the right size, overwrite the footer image, and you will have it. For instance, this blog, here's our header, and if we go to the bottom, you'll see that it has a footer that is an image. Okay, so if we were to go and look at what it looks like, okay, this is the theme for that particular site. So we go into footer. Okay, you'll see here that it has the footer image here. Okay, it uses the blog info template directory so that it knows where it is, images/footer, and that's what it's using there. Then it has underneath it the copyright information and so on that you see before. So that's how the footer gets on there if you're going to use an image. You need to use this type of code. Okay, so that's it for modifying the footer. Now let's talk about adding an opt-in form. Now, if you wanted to add an opt-in form to a certain page, the best way to do it is to put the code in a post. However, if you wanted the opt-in box to show all the time on every page, what you would want to do is put it either above where the posts are shown here or over on the sidebar, and I'll show you how to do each. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to have to get our web form code, and we can then paste it where we need it to go. So let's look at the sidebar first. Okay, so what we were going to do first, we'll do it in the sidebar, and I've basically already shown you how to do this. What we do is we open it with Notepad, and then what we do is we put it right here where we put our text. So all we have to do is paste our web form in there. And now on every page, it will show our opt-in form in the sidebar. So let's just save this and upload it. Okay. Upload the sidebar. Again, make sure overwrite existing files is checked. There we go. Now let's refresh. And there it is. There is our opt-in form showing in the sidebar. So that's how you do it there. The other thing we could do, instead of putting it there, would be to put it above our post here, and it would show on every page. Just to demonstrate, let's go to the About page. And as you can see, it is still showing here. Okay, so let's remove that, and then we'll put the code up in here. This is another option. You may or may not want to do that, but I'll just show you how to do it in case you do. So first I'm going to remove that code out of our current sidebar. And then we'll just re-upload it. Overwrite. Now we'll refresh and just make sure it took. There we go. And now we're going to go into putting it up here. Now to do that, you'd have to either do it on a page or a post or both, because pages and posts are actually on different files. This is a page when it's outside the regular blog structure, whereas posts turn up all in a row like a regular blog, whereas pages are a separate entity. So they're two different files. If we look in here, we'll see one called page, and these are for pages. And we'll see one called index, and that is for all of the different posts. And there's also one called single, which is the single post. So right now we're looking at a post, but if we click on this, this is the single post page. So those are the three different pages you have to deal with. So you could decide, if you want to decide that you wanted to put it on just the pages and not on the post, then you would modify page. If you want it on the post and not on the page structure, then you would put it on the post. And if you wanted it both, of course, you modify post. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it on pages as an example. You can do whatever you want here, but we'll do an open with Notepad again. And every WordPress theme has a loop where the posts are populated. And usually the code will always be something different, but you'll usually see a line like if have posts while have posts, and then it loops around in here. So what you're going to want to do is put it right underneath the header. So what I would do is I would just paste my code right in here and save this. And then we'll upload the page. Overwrite. Now we come back here and go to About. You'll see that it put our opt-in form on the page, but if we go back home, you'll see that it is not here. And that is because of what I just told you. You have to pick where you want it to go. It also is not going to be on the single post. Now, if you want it to show up on every page and every post and every single post, the easiest way to modify it would then be to modify the header. If we open with here, Notepad. Okay, now we just have to roll to the very end of this thing and paste it in here. And we'll save this and upload it. Overwrite. Now we'll refresh. And there is our opt-in form, and it'll show on every page now. Now I didn't erase it off of, I think, pages or something. So I might have two of them. Okay, that's because I have it hard-coded in the page as well as in the header. So that's why it showed two here. But now if we go to the single post page, you see that it also shows there. So that's how you get it to show up on every page above the post if you want to do it that way. Now, it could be anything you add as well. Instead of an opt-in form, if you wanted to put AdSense code there, you could just paste the AdSense code in those same places. So if you wanted AdSense code up here, then you would post the proper AdSense code inside that file with the proper size. Same with the sidebar. You would just put the AdSense code along the sidebar right where we were putting the opt-in form and the text up at the top here. Okay, so that is it for this part. Let's talk about changing the style sheet to change our colors. We'll go over that in the next video.